Indonesia and Malaysia are both countries with a significant Muslim population, with Islam being the primary religion practiced in both countries. However, the practice of Islam in these two countries is influenced by different historical, social, and cultural contexts. 1. Historical background. Indonesia wasn't initially a Muslim country. The introduction of Islam can be traced back to the 13th century by traders from Gujarat, India. The religious transition was gradual, marked by the adoption of Islamic principles alongside local customs. Malaysia, on the other hand, saw the advent of Islam around the 12th century. Like Indonesia, it was the Muslim traders who played a crucial part in bringing the religion to its shores. 2. Cultural interplay. Indonesian Muslims often integrate local cultural practices, such as Javanese traditions, into their expression of Islam. This phenomenon is described as Islam Nusantara, signifying a peaceful and moderate interpretation of Islam that acknowledges local customs. Malaysian Muslims, while also blending local traditions with Islamic practices, tend to adhere more strictly to Orthodox Sunni Islam. However, it's essential to note that a diversity of cultural practices and interpretations exists within both countries. 3. Legal framework. In Indonesia, the state ideology Pancasila promotes religious harmony and recognizes multiple religions. Islamic law, Sharia, is implemented only in Aceh province. In contrast, Malaysia is an Islamic state with Sharia courts handling family law and some criminal cases for Muslims. The country's constitution defines all ethnic Malays as Muslim. 4. Religious institutions. In Indonesia, the Ministry of Religious Affairs and Nahdlatul Ulama, NU, play vital roles in regulating religious activities. NU is considered the largest independent Islamic organization globally and advocates traditionalist Sunni Islam. In Malaysia, religion is managed by the Department of Islamic Development Malaysia, JAKIM, and various state religious authorities. The Malaysian Islamic Party, PAS, has significant influence over religious matters in certain states. 5. Political influence. In Indonesia, political Islam has had varying degrees of influence throughout its history. However, the nation primarily operates under a secular democratic system. Malaysia operates under a constitutional monarchy, with Islam being a key component of its national identity. The ruling party has historically used Islam as a platform to garner political advantage. 6. Role of women. In both nations, Muslim women play vital roles in society. However, they face unique challenges based on cultural and legal frameworks. Indonesian Muslim women have somewhat greater freedom in terms of religious interpretation and personal expression compared to their Malaysian counterparts. 7. Current trends. In recent years, both Indonesian and Malaysian Muslims have shown an increased interest in more conservative interpretations of Islam. This shift has been attributed to various factors such as globalization, increased literacy rates, and widespread access to information through digital media. In conclusion, while both Indonesian and Malaysian Muslims share faith in Islam, their practices and perspectives are influenced by unique cultural histories and societal structures. Despite their differences, they also share similarities tied to faith, such as their dedication to prayer and fasting during Ramadan. However, it's important to remember that within each country, there is a wide spectrum of beliefs and practices, from the very conservative to the liberal, from the highly ritualistic to the more spiritual. This diversity is a testament to the rich and multifaceted nature of Islam in Southeast Asia. Hajj, one of the 5 pillars of Islam, is a pilgrimage to Mecca that is required of all Muslims who are physically and financially able to undertake it. Although the practices are based on the same Islamic principles, there are some differences in how they're carried out in different countries due to cultural variations and governmental regulations. Here is an overview of the Hajj practices in Indonesia and Malaysia. Indonesian Hajj practices. The Indonesian government oversees the Hajj pilgrimage through the Ministry of Religious Affairs. It organizes flights, accommodation, and other logistics for the pilgrims. The waiting list for Hajj in Indonesia can be quite long due to the large Muslim population and quota system set by the Saudi government. Indonesian pilgrims often wear white ihrams, ritual garment, with a red and white Indonesian flag pinned to show their national identity. The government provides comprehensive training and education programs about the rituals of Hajj, health precautions, and Arabic language basics. Malaysian Hajj Practices. The Malaysian Hajj pilgrimage is organized by Tabung Haji, a government body responsible for organizing and facilitating travel for Hajj. Malaysian pilgrims usually have shorter waiting times compared to Indonesians due to the smaller Muslim population. Similar to Indonesia, Malaysians also receive training prior to their departure. The training includes understanding Hajj rituals, learning Arabic phrases, and getting health advice. Malaysians wear a special tag or badge with the Malaysian flag on their ihrams as a symbol of national identity. Tabung Haji provides comprehensive services including meals, transportation, and accommodation. It also offers a Hajj by proxy service for those who are physically unable to perform Hajj. In both countries, the emphasis is on ensuring that pilgrims understand the rituals and significance of Hajj and are prepared physically and mentally for the journey. Indonesia and Malaysia share common ground in that they both have Islam as their predominant religion. However, there are differences in religious practices due to cultural, historical, and ethnic variations. Interpretation of Islam. In Malaysia, the interpretation of Islam is more homogeneously Sunni. In contrast, Indonesia has more diversity in Islamic beliefs. While the majority follows Sunni Islam, there are significant populations of Shia, Ahmadiyya, and other Islamic sects. Religious freedom. Indonesia generally has greater religious diversity and freedom compared to Malaysia. There are 6 officially recognized religions in Indonesia: Islam, Protestantism, Catholicism, Hinduism, Buddhism, and Confucianism. Malaysia is officially an Islamic country and other religions are allowed, but Islam is given a privileged status. Cultural practices. Indonesian Islam is deeply influenced by local cultural practices and indigenous beliefs. This is evident in ceremonies, rituals, and the arts. In Malaysia, Islamic practices are heavily influenced by Malay customs adat, but have undergone a process of Arabization in recent decades. Islamic law. In Malaysia, Islamic law is applied to Muslims in areas like marriage, inheritance, and apostasy. The enforcement varies from state to state. In contrast, Islamic law in Indonesia applies only in Aceh province. Festivals. Both countries celebrate common Islamic festivals like Eid al-Fitr and Eid al-Adha, but local variations exist. For example, in Indonesia, a common tradition during Ramadan is Pawai Obor, a torch parade held by children on the eve of the fasting month. This tradition is not observed in Malaysia. Role of religion in politics. In Malaysia, religion plays a highly significant role in politics with a political party dedicated to Islamic principles, PS. In Indonesia, while there are political parties with Islamic orientations, there has been a tradition of maintaining a secular state. Interfaith relations. Interfaith relations vary between the two countries. In Indonesia, there is generally a higher level of interreligious interaction due to the country's diverse religious landscape. In Malaysia, there's less interreligious interaction due to the segregation of ethnic and religious groups. Remember that both countries have rich and diverse cultures, and these points are general observations rather than strict rules. Thank you so much for joining us on this enlightening journey through the religious practices of Indonesia and Malaysia. We've learned together, discovered new perspectives, and deepened our understanding of these rich cultures. We are thrilled to know that you share our interest in exploring diverse spiritual practices and traditions. Remember to like, share, and subscribe for more content like this. Comment down below on what you would like to see next. Your feedback is very important to us. Once again, thank you all for your incredible support and for being a part of our community. Stay tuned for more videos.